Église Saint-Étienne next to the Mairie. And don't they do beautiful French formal gardens? Just look at that garden, isn't that lovely? Public space, but how beautifully it's been put together. Look at this beautiful open space in Caen. It's a Sunday morning and we really ought to be at church. However, it's lovely to come here and just observe this nice space, open, not very many people about, although it's approaching lunchtime. Good time to come. And there's a cafe there. I think we're going to find our way towards it. So tell me about croissants.
They're delectable in France. The chewy, soft pastry they're just amazing. Flaky on the outside, chewy. It's a little pleasure in life that I very much enjoy here in France.
Do they need lashings of butter and marmalade?
They don't need anything. They just need to be freshly cooked and be chewy and warm with a nice...
Well, in that beautiful square, here we all are having a nice coffee. And we've been talking about original sin. But I'd much rather focus on the beautiful architecture of that building just there. Isn't that just amazing? And the flags that are around are in celebration of the liberation that happened 80 years ago. What a thought. This is the little restaurant quarter that's just by the flat where we're staying. And it's really rather nice, isn't it? Lots of restaurants. Funny thing is, you would think it was right in the centre of the old town, but it's not. It's a good half mile outside the centre of what you would think was town. Well, the sign says Normandy for the peace. Normandy pour la paix. And it would be very difficult to disagree with that. And again, this is part of the Abbaye aux Dames. And it's a very impressive place, isn't it? With magnificent gardens and formal gardens in this particular direction. This is the gardens of the Abbaye aux Dames, and they're very pretty, aren't they? These are some amazing stained glass windows in the huge great church next to the abbey, and in fact that doesn't really do justice to the colourful display of those windows. I think Carmen's taking a photograph of the next tattoo that she's wanting to have. What do you reckon? On the morning of the 6th of June 1944, on this sector of Sword Beach, as the Scots have done for generations, the Brigadier Lord Lovat, Chief of the 1st Special Service Brigade, also a Highlands Chief, ordered his personal piper, Bill Millin, to pipe his commandos ashore. Above the roar of battle came the skirl of liberation, with a piper leading the way. They both entered the legend. This is the little square at Arromanches with its museum, which we've just been round, which is fascinating. The little square is littered with World War II memorabilia and old armaments. And then out at sea you can see the Marlboroughs, the very famous temporary harbour that enabled D-Day to function, resupplying the troops at the front line. And the little town itself looks very prosperous, with lots of cafes, buildings are beautiful. It's a lovely place to come and be, though on the 6th of June 1944, much less so. This is St Valery-en-Caen, where Mary and I are spending our last night in France. And here is a little port, which we've come to explore. This is the interior of the chapel at St Valery-en-Caen. And it's not quite what you're expecting. Look at all these stained glass windows. In fact, it has quite a Protestant feel. You could imagine all sorts of different churches worshipping in a space like this, couldn't you? The inner harbour of St Valery-en-Caen is separate from the outer one, and it seems high tide at the moment, and so the drawbridge has been drawn up, but there is some sort of lock that stops the water in this upper part lowering to the level of the lower part. Isn't this quite some building just here? Look at the woodwork, and if one looks in detail, the carvings in the panelling are amazing. It looks sort of 16th century. I wonder. This is called the Albatra Coast, and it's we're at the little port of St Valery-en-Caen, and there's a little sort of walk, circular walk that you can do that gives you lots of views and interesting perspectives on the history of this little place.